About the Birds provides you with weekly analysis, game recaps, informative interviews, and it's all birds all the time.
And welcome, Eagles blow out the Giants 38-20. I think it was a lot closer than that score is with all the backups coming in at the end of the game, but the Eagles were able to kind of impose their will. And the run game finally got going. I think they had, 276 yards of
276, yeah.
Rushing yards. Rush offense today was magnificent. All started with the second play of the game, Saquon, 65-yard run. Loving see the under center. I love seeing a whole bunch of different aspects, the pulling of the center and the tackles and the guards and, the RPO, the touchdown to Goddard. There's so much stuff that's going on the offensive side of the ball that seems to finally start to come into shape. Yeah. But Matt, I know you were at the game. I'm sure vibes were pretty high at the link. Seemed real loud as ever. But Eagles got the win 6-2 going into the bye.
Yeah. And if you would have told me that we would have had 276 rushing yards and two running backs over 100 yards before this game started, I wouldn't have believed you. So this is the first time since 2013 we've had two rushers go for 100 yards. Can you name the two that went for 100 yards prior to today?
So 2013, so I would say LaShawn McCoy.
That's one, yep.
And I think in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know Darren Sproles was on the team.
It was not Darren Sproles.
So wasn't Darren Sproles.
Nope.
Was Bryce Brown on the team?
It was Bryce Brown.
Yeah.
Bryce Brown, LaShawn McCoy against the Bears in 2013.
Wow.
Yeah.
You think about that. Like Bryce Brown, we know about the games he had in 2012. Like he had those, like that massive, 2 or 3 games he had was unreal.
He had a Fulgham stretch there. Yeah.
Yeah. But interesting. I was thinking about one last time, because I know the last time there were two 100-yard rushers was the Packers game back in, I believe it was 2022. Jalen and Miles Sanders both had over 100 yards, but with two running backs. So it's been 12 years since that. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
And Bigsby did it on 9 carries, which is wild. And one of the things I loved, you said we were doing some cool stuff. We I wonder if this is the Kevin Patullo identity moment. I wonder if that Giants loss was like the linchpin, that embarrassment where they were like, all right, it's time to get serious, right? And these last 2 games have been so impressive in multiple different ways. Like last week was passing, this week was rushing. I mean, there was some. Don't get me wrong. Jalen was flawless passing the ball today, but it wasn't as dominant through the air from a yardage perspective as it was for rushing this week. I wonder if Patullo. I wonder if it clicked. Like I wonder if this is the moment where we look back and go, like he figured it out. This is their identity. They're doing a lot of stuff. I thought Toth. I'm getting mixed. I heard Sirianni said Toth today, so I don't know. But anyway, he had a hell of a game, dude. He played really, really well. I do think they started attacking the edges a little bit more. Mm-hmm. They weren't having a ton of success up the middle. And so they started attacking those edges and getting guys like Toth, and it feels weird saying Toth, getting Toth and Dickerson and Mailata, getting all those guys on the move and letting them get into space. I mean, I saw 2 or 3 different plays where Toth had his guy on the ground.
Yeah.
They took advantage. They pivoted and they said, let's get outside. Let's use our speed. Let's get on these edges. And it worked really well. It was really fun to see. Like you said, the vibes were amazing. Fred Johnson was in there for.
I'm saying Fred had 12 plays. 12 of the 33 13. Rushes.
Yeah. And he had there were a couple runs in there too. Yeah. Or a couple passes in there when he was in there. So they're doing a really good job mixing it up, and that sequencing that we were talking about, right? Where you're giving a bunch of looks and then you run something else off of that. They did it
Yeah.
twice that I can think of today. They did the toss to Saquon on the edge
Mhm.
where he broke it for like, I don't know, 20 yards. And then they did a fake toss, like screen, which I thought was really cool. And then earlier in the game, they brought in Gibson.
I saw that. Yep, the little like
jet
pass.
jet pass, right? Jet motion pass.
He had a nice punt return too earlier in the game too.
Well, but back to like sequencing real quick. Like they brought him in later in the game for Goddard's second touchdown.
Yep.
And I said out loud in the stands, I was like, they're going to run jet motion with Gibson because he was only on the field for 2 plays that I noticed, and he ran that same jet motion. And I said it's going to be a pop pass to one of the tight ends. And they ran that jet motion. The defender luckily fell, but I think that would have been successful anyway. But it was really cool to see Patullo or whoever was calling the plays. They were in their bag today, and it was fun to see. And I don't know if it's because we were dominating them or because the Giants just suck. But either way, I'll take it if this is something you can build off of.
And like the way they use Dallas Goedert in the red zone is the way that I've wanted them to use him for so long. Just because, like the one where they had him out and he did just a little inside cross and you throw it right to him. The safety's not going to be able to tackle him at the 2-yard line. He just rolls in the end zone.
Slant. That was the AJ slant that they just ran for Goddard. It was great.
And then of course the play that you had mentioned in the fourth quarter there, the touchdown. Like I'd love to see more of that and just using Goddard. Devontae 6 catches, 84 yards, nothing super spectacular. And of course you had that.
But they they were running him on a lot of crossers, which we've been begging them to do because he's so good in that space. Like a lot of I don't know if it was mesh or not. I have to watch it again, but I mean, they got him on the move. They got him in space and he took advantage of it multiple times.
And again, when you run the ball for 276 yards, you don't expect to have a huge passing day. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But listen, 179 yards passing is pretty good in 4 touchdowns. Like you had, Dallas, of course, had 2. Dallas Goedert had 2 of them. You had the Jahan Dotson, Mawson, the DB for the Giants. And then, of course, you had Saquon catching that touchdown as well. So it's, Jalen's not – listen, they're not doing a lot of tush pushes close. They're throwing the touchdowns, which is fine. It gets people.
That was
listen.
That tush push may have me clenching, buddy.
Yeah,
that tush push. I thought for sure they were going to overturn that.
The other thing too is the refs were pretty abysmal, but I think a lot of people complaining that Eagles got all the calls don't really realize kind of some of the sequencing and some of the things because the Scattaboo, which. Hopefully everything goes well with him. It was a rough injury for something like that. It just was not good.
By the way, for anybody listening who hasn't heard, he is in surgery now.
Yeah.
Like they rushed him. I don't know if they took him to Rothman or Penn or what, but like it's severely dislocated. He's in surgery. He's probably out for the year, I would assume.
Yeah, I would say that. Hopefully he heals up enough to see the field next year. But hopefully everything goes well with him. But like the touchdown pass to him, like what Patrick Johnson on him isn't really a great matchup one. But Nakobe coming up the middle, getting tackled by the O-line, I think it was Runyon. Like, where's the penalty there? Because earlier, before that, you had Abdul Carter get tackled to the ground, which a penalty flag was thrown, and rightfully so, it was a hold.
Right.
Where is it on that side? So then you have that touchdown pass. And then, of course, later in the game, you have the old the
fumble.
Arm was moving forward in the I don't get it. I thought
they gotta fix it.
An empty hand coming forward to me would be a fumble. So
any other year that's a fumble. I don't know if there was some sort of like top-down executive order to call this differently this year, but that's the second time.
It's literally the tuck rule. It's literally the tuck rule, just in a worse way.
It's terrible. It should have been a fumble. It should have been a fumble against the Broncos. Should have been a fumble here. That's twice this has happened.
Yeah.
And they got to fix it. They got to figure it out.
But the Eagles defense, hey, 5 sacks today. They were a couple times where they were getting the pressure and they just couldn't corral Dart, and Dart was able to get out and move and make a play. And then towards the end of the game, they were starting to get more pressure, bottling them in, getting the sacks. I believe Bond had a sack today. Ojomo had a sack today. Carter had a sack today. Jalen Hunt had a sack today. And then there was
Jordan Davis.
Jordan Davis got a sack today. Yeah. Okay, so those are the 5 guys who had sacks. And
like you're talking about pressure. Do you know how many pressures Jalen Hunt had today?
You have 7?
9.
9. Wow.
Jalen Hunt is credited for 9 pressures today.
Yeah, he really made Luminor really work on the right tackle spot for the Giants today.
Dude, he played lights out today. Shout out Jalen Hunt. He was awesome.
It's going to be interesting too, because when you look at they have the off week, which is nice because I know Saquon got a little banged up groin thing. So hopefully, you get that week and a half or whatever it may be.
I think he'll be fine.
And then when you look at the guys coming back, the guys who didn't play or the guys who are on IR ready to come back, Nolan Smith, Ja'Cory Bennett, of course, BG, those are 3 roster spots you're going to have to be able to open in that when that time comes. It's going to be interesting to see how they maneuver that, but they're getting reinforcements back, which is great because this stretch run, you've got some tough opponents. You got Green Bay and Green Bay, Detroit. And listen, I know Dallas is struggling. We still have to go to Dallas. It's never easy. It's a divisional game. And then, you of course, the end of the season with the Bears, Vegas, Commanders, and Bills. But like you go into the bye 6-2, fantastic. Huge win. You're able to get the offense kind of going. You're starting to, to me, I think the way I'm looking at it and the way I watch the game is they're getting their identity with a lot 100%. Of under center, which I absolutely love because you could do so many different things out of that. And even Jalen said during his press conference, he's comfortable under center. Yeah. So
he actually said, "I love being under center."
Yeah,
is what he said.
So it's stuff like that they're able to work off of that. And then the whole Fred Johnson thing too, as we mentioned, with Fred Johnson playing a lot of the rushes, you can work off of that as well. You could do play action off of that. If you take Calcaterra off the field and you put Fred in Dallas and then receivers, you can work off of that with play action, or you can run the ball, or whatever you can do. There's so many different things you can do with it.
We talked about it last week. That was the Devontae post route. That was a play action under center with Fred Johnson in the game. Like that's the kind of stuff that they'll be able to do. I wouldn't be surprised if we see more of those like naked boots or those like slip, I don't know what you want to call them, slip routes to Goddard or Calcaterra there for like a quick 5-6 yards.
They were great at staying ahead of the chains today.
They were. There were some stupid penalties and some like procedural bullshit that they still have to figure out. It's going to happen, but there were a couple times they tried to shoot themselves in the foot, but were able to overcome it. Another illegal formation on a kickoff, on a kick return.
Yeah. Well, the good thing though is Shipley had some nice returns today, which is really great to see. Hit some openings and was able to get some big time chunk yards.
Three returns for 99 yards, a long of 41.
Yeah, that's some good numbers there.
He also had 3 like studly tackles on special.
Yeah, he's playing very, very well. And like, look,
awesome.
Tank Bigsby's having had a hell of a game, over 100 yards, and he's supplanted into that number 2 running back role. Shipley's 3, and which to me leaves out AJ Dillon, which I'm not sure how much longer he's going to be on the roster, with the Eagles needing to clear some spots for some of these guys on their way back. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Of course, they don't have to do anything next week with the bye week, so they can wait until after the bye week. But
so who do they have? They have Ja'Cory Bennett, BG,
Nolan Smith.
Who else?
I think that's it.
Still, that's
In terms of guys on IR that you have to elevate. It's those guys
that are coming back. Yeah.
So
Now, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So we talked about this offline. Like my assumption is that the price is going to be too high, and Howie's going to come out and say, Nolan Smith and BG are our midseason acquisitions. We're comfortable with that room with BG, Uche, Jalix Hunt, and Nolan, right? I feel like that's going to be the narrative coming out of this. Are you comfortable with that room?
No. Listen, I text you they need to pass rush. Like, I know the guys who are coming back. I still would like to see, like, listen, it doesn't have to be the big time names. Like, give me a middle level guy, Arden Key, a Draymond Jones, something in the level of that.
Give me a
Ebiketie. Yeah.
like out of Atlanta.
Kind of like an under the radar name, which I don't believe he's going to get dealt, but a guy that would be fun and a fun addition. You may have to give up, a little bit higher priced pick than you would the guys that we had just mentioned.
Yeah.
Carl Granderson of the Saints.
There you go.
But again, you also look at the Dolphins. Yeah. They've got a couple rushers. So there's a lot out there in terms of what teams want. If they could get a guy like an Arden Key or a Draymond Jones for like a 5th round pick, like, hey, I'm fine with that. Yeah. You add to your room, because the problem is you're one injury away from Patrick Johnson having to play more meaningful snaps that he's been the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, if Patrick Johnson plays 3 to 5 snaps, I have no problem with that. But if he's playing 15 to 20 snaps, then you have a little bit of a problem, in my opinion.
He's a special teams ace. Like that's what we have him for. I wouldn't be surprised if he's one of those guys that gets the chop
and then put back on the practice squad
if he doesn't get claimed like he did last time.
Well, you know what? They could be smart with this, because after the trade deadline is when you cut anybody, they go to waivers. But if you cut somebody before, like this week, they had these 3 guys.
He's vested, right? He's vested.
He is. Now. He's a vested veteran, so he would be able to go right back onto.
That's a good call.
The practice squad. So it's going to be interesting. My guess would be is they'd make the moves this week, Wednesday or Thursday or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Make the moves this week, so then they don't have to. Hopefully, somebody gets claimed. They can just at least the vested veterans, the guys who would need to be claimed. And again, don't be surprised if you see somebody get placed on IR, like a guy that may not be playing all that much or whatever it may be. It's going to be interesting because, listen, they have 4 tight ends with Cam Latu.
He's a fullback. You don't, in my opinion, you don't cut him.
No. I'm not saying cut him.
He's been so good on special teams, dude.
No, I'm not saying cut him, but
he almost got murdered by Granson today. I don't know if you saw it. He got licked.
Yeah, I did. I would say these are my options of what I would do. So Patrick Johnson, I would cut.
Yeah.
And then put him back on the practice squad, cut whoever on the practice squad, doesn't matter. Yeah. So he'd be the one move. Yeah. Second move, Perry Nickerson, because I think you can get him right back on the practice squad.
Yeah.
So there's 2 guys.
There's 2.
The third one is the hard one, but I would say AJ Dillon, if you can't trade him.
Yeah. So, or like a Marcus Epps.
Yeah.
Right, because you could probably get him back on the practice squad.
But again, you need all these running backs, because why not? Like, if AJ Dillon's going to go sign with someone else, why not just look for one of the backs that you had on your roster in the preseason? I know.
The problem I have there is, like I don't disagree. If you can ship him out for any sort of like collateral,
like a 6th or 7th round pick,
you can get a pick for him, do it. And then you could sign a guy like Montrell Johnson to the
and that's what I meant. Line. Yeah,
But it's kind of like the Patrick Johnson conundrum. If Saquon's down with a groin, right?
Yeah.
Then you have Shipley and you have Tank as your only running backs, and one of them's your kick returner. So it's like now if Shipley goes down, now you not only are you down a running back, but you're down your kick returner. So it's just I don't know. Like I think that's the reason for the 4 running backs. But I guess also you could elevate someone.
True.
Yeah. So
it's gonna be interesting to see what they do. But no,
Yeah.
it was a fun game. Like they were able to move the ball offensively. They were able to do a lot of things. So to me, it was a good game right before the bye. Now you go into the bye on a high note.
Good
offense
momentum.
is grooving a little bit here. They're kind of finding their identity, figuring out on the offense to kind of make defenses kind of second guess. What are they going to be doing? What? So that's great to see. I'm excited to see what they do going into a hostile, tough environment, in Green Bay. So it's going to be very interesting. I believe this is the first time that Jalen Hurts will be in Green Bay since he took over for Carson back in 2020.
There you go. Yeah, the Greg Ward game.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
all right.
It'll be interesting. We'll be, of course, this bye week. This week, I think we'll probably do Thursday like we always do. Maybe Wednesday. We'll figure that out. But I do want to kind of talk some, basically, we'll see any news that comes about. We'll also talk about there. But I do want to kind of bring up some trade deadline targets. We'll go over some of that stuff. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
But we'll see what they do. We'll see if they make any moves. Then we can discuss those. If not, we can discuss potential targets. The trade deadline is November 4th, which is next Tuesday. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. But with that, as we always end it with a very happy and joyful Go Birds.
Go Birds.
This is Matt Ware. Hey, for all the Eagle content you need, go follow All About the Birds. They do a damn thing. Check them out.
Hey, Eagles fans, I may be in Tampa, but I know where to find the best Eagles content out there. Check out my friends at All About the Birds.
Philadelphia, what's up? This your boy Freddie Mitchell, a.k.a. Fred X. It's all about the bird.
All birds all the time. All birds all the time.
All About the Birds provides you with weekly analysis, game recaps, informative interviews, and it's all birds all the time.